Africa is a very large continent with a lot of interesting places to visit. On a trip through Africa, you can meet the Masai Mara people in Kenya, look out over the Serengeti plains, or relax on a tropical island. Africa is beautiful and has a lot of different things to see, do, and learn about. Plan your next trip to Africa to include at least one of the best places to visit in Africa from this list, if your schedule allows. So here are the top 10 places to visit in Africa. However, before we begin our countdown, we would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. Number 10. Uganda. Uganda is the only landlocked country in Africa. It has the tallest mountain range and the source of the Nile River. It also has the largest lake in Africa. Even though its tourism industry and infrastructure aren't as well developed as those of Kenya and Tanzania, this only makes its beautiful landscapes more exciting to explore. Number 9. Kruger National Park, South Africa. The Kruger National Park, which was named after former South African President Paul Kruger, is the most well-known of South Africa's many parks. The park's main goals are to protect nature, teach people, and attract tourists. You can buy a permit to get into the park and then drive on your own, but most people prefer to go on a guided tour or safari instead. Number 8. Marrakech, Morocco. Marrakech is the third largest city in Morocco, after Rabat and Casablanca. It is the most visited place in the country because it is a very interesting city with a long history and beautiful buildings. The old part of Marrakech is called the Medina, and its main square is the busy Juma El Fna, where you can watch snake charmers and acrobats while browsing shops and snacking on local foods. Number 7. Luxor, Egypt. The Nile River cuts the ancient city of Luxor in Egypt in half. On the east bank, you'll find the famous Luxor Temple and interesting museums like the Mummification Museum and the Luxor Museum. You can visit both the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens on the west bank, which is on the other side of the Nile. Number 6. Ngorongoro Conservation Area, Tanzania. Tanzania has many things to see and do. One of these is the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, a nature preserve. The Ngorongoro crater, a volcanic caldera in the middle of the preserve, gives the area its name. The crater and the steep gorge called Oldupai Gorge are both great places to see. The conservation area is also one of the best places to see wildlife in Africa. Some of the animals you might see there are the African buffalo, black rhinoceros, hippopotamus, blue wildebeest, and even a Tanzanian cheetah every once in a while. Number 5. Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town is the capital city of South Africa. It is a unique, historic, and lively city whose name comes from the fact that it is on the Cape of Good Hope. Learn about Cape Town's history by visiting amazing places like the colorful homes in the Bo Cap neighborhood and Robben Island, where political prisoners like Nelson Mandela were once held. Number 4. Kenya. Many people think of Kenya as the birthplace of safari because it is one of the best places in the world to see wildlife up close and personal. Its endless savannas and dry deserts are full of animals, including lions, elephants, buffalo, herds of antelope, flocks of flamingos, and even the occasional black rhino. Some of Africa's most famous people and cultures, like the Maasai, Kikuyu, and Swahili, live in its dramatic landscapes. Each of these groups has its own rich language and traditions. Number 3. Victoria Falls, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Victoria Falls is a beautiful waterfall on the Zambezi River. It is right on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. Victoria Falls is the name of both the falls and the town around them in Zimbabwe. In Zambia, where the falls are, they are called Mosi Otunya. From December to March, when it rains a lot, the falls are more impressive, but the rest of the year can give you a clearer view. Number 2. Serengeti National Park, Tanzania. The Serengeti National Park is one of Africa's most amazing places to protect wildlife. It is in northeast Tanzania. Serengeti means endless plains, which is exactly what you'll find in the park. Each year, more than 1 million wildebeest and more than 200,000 zebras travel across the plains. When you go to Serengeti National Park, you can see cheetahs, leopards, giraffes, buffalo, gazelles, and many other animals. Number 1. Giza Necropolis, Egypt. If you've always wanted to see the Egyptian pyramids, your next trip should be to Giza. Giza is the starting point for some of Egypt's most famous buildings, and it's close to the city of Cairo. You can go inside the Great Pyramid of Khufu in Giza. It is the only one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world that is still standing. You can also visit the Sphinx, a few smaller pyramids, and a number of amazing museums that tell you about the history of these pyramids and what they were used for. So, that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to get all the latest updates.